Now I gotta set up. Hopefully I can be heard. What is going on? I meant to tweet this out. There we go. What is going on, guys? It is episode 146 of the Wrestlebread podcast, the 3-year anniversary special. Kickoff of, well, the end of Wrestlemania weekend with oh, that'd be her. Oh, there we go. With Raw After Mania. And thanks again. Shout out to Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. Thank you guys for your support for the past 3 years. It's been an amazing journey as far as doing this podcast, being able to connect with people, mainly about, of course, things that we all love to do. I've been a lover of wrestling for a very long time. And so, interacting and meeting people who also share your passion for wrestling, it's always good to come with a community of people who like the same things that you like. Because as we all see on Twitter, um, on social media in general, like there are a lot of people who aren't appreciative, who like really either are so negative, or they feel as though like it's an issue because we like things we like. It's a great time now to be a wrestling fan. It's a great time to be a nerd as well, with Marvel's popularity and the Batman coming out, and comics and shows that's coming out of comics that are a lot more mainstream. It's an amazing time to be a fan, period. Um, but getting into the review of WrestleMania and the review of Raw After Mania as well. Overall, WrestleMania was, and I said it, was stupendous. They kept telling us it's going to be stupendous. It was actually stupendous. The build to this WrestleMania, it didn't really feel like it didn't feel like WrestleMania season at all. It just felt like it was just another pay-per-view to them, but I'm very happy that we got a very good show. Raw After Mania is not the same anymore. Normally it's very crazy. Some people don't like Raw After Mania, but at least it's just one show where all the internationals, the hot Mania crowd comes in and they just have all the fun that they want. With the chants and stuff like that, and you really have to be able to roll with it. It's not a usual crowd that we see every Raw and SmackDown. So, it's a lot of fun. This year we really didn't get it. I have my reasons as to why we didn't really get that Raw After Mania crowd. Um, they had what they said, 77,000 people at WrestleMania, and it felt like the booking of Raw and then the crowd, it really didn't make Raw After Mania feel special at all. Um, but let's get into night one first off. um Took place in Dallas. Night one, I don't know who that was that sung America the Beautiful. I'm not I listen to country from time to time, but I don't know who that was who was singing. Whoever that second person was that was trying to harmonize with the first person is just like y'all need to take a step back and like redo that whole performance because that was horrible. I rather had Lillian Garcia sing America the Beautiful from now on. Um, the New Day Sheamus match was cut due to timing, but they were doing a bunch of video package. I think had they cut the video packages that they kept showing, especially for night two, we probably could have got the match in night one. It landed on night two, luckily for them. Um, but night one, my predictions were pretty much really good, except for I believe except for one match. Um, but first off, the first two matches wasn't really it still felt like we were coming off of a Raw or a SmackDown. It didn't really feel like WrestleMania worthy. With the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the Usos did retain. Boo's knee gave out when he was trying to suplex one Uso. The other Uso had jumped on him. His knee gave out, and unfortunately for him, and I really hope he gets a full recovery. I know it's the I forgot what it was that tore, but it will require surgery. So I hope he has a very speedy recovery. I hope this doesn't hurt Shinsuke Nakamura. The outfit choice, I was like, okay, until I realized that their outfits was brought to you by Hard Mike's Lemonade. I've drunk that. It's pretty good. I mean, it's not certain flavors taste good. But yeah, I didn't even realize that their outfits was due to a promotion until I think until night 2 when it was mentioned about it, or when I was watching someone's reaction or something like that and they mentioned it and I was like, "Really?" Like first it was the car commercial, now it's Mike's Hard Lemonade. But I'm like, okay, well at least Shinsuke Nakamura is getting used for something. But yeah, the match felt short because of the injury with Rick Boo's. And I think I had Rick Boogs and Nakamura winning this. Oh, no, I don't think I did. I think I actually had the Usos retaining here. But yeah, it felt like a short match. The next match with Corbin and Drew, um, it was fine. It was a fine match. Like it really didn't give me anything special as far as WrestleMania. A lot of people were a bit upset about this match, especially the fact that Finn Balor wasn't on the card at all, seeing as though he is a champion along with Ricochet. And I come to realize this, especially with the emergence of AEW. Sometimes with WWE, you just can't use logic. If you try to use logic, you're going to get upset. I've seen videos popping up on Twitter. People were very upset at some things that's been happening in wrestling, but it's very hard not to get upset with. I get upset when they don't use people who has potential as far as wrestling concern. Like Finn Balor, definitely can get if you could book Finn Balor strong enough to where as though he can really get over with the crowd. And there's a few times he gets over with the crowd. Same thing with Ricochet as well. But I come to realize is that WWE is all about characters and storylines. Finn Balor, while he is an awesome wrestler, as far as like his character and storyline, he's Finn Balor. Whereas though with Corbin, we've seen him be Happy Corbin, Sad Corbin, King Corbin. He's really good at playing whatever character that's given to him. And I feel like that's why he gets the time that he does on WWE versus someone like Finn Balor and Ricochet. Um, there was a point where Sad Corbin, he's really good because there was a point that you felt like you wanted to cheer for Sad Corbin. Then of course he got happy, and then there's Madcap Moss. Um, I didn't realize this was the first time someone has kicked out of End of Days until it was mentioned, um, until it was mentioned until it was mentioned a little later. Not Happy Corbin. Drew McIntyre had retained from here. Then there was the sword. I get it. I do get it, but whenever you bring props to the ring, there is like this attention to use it. And while you can't technically use the sword because that is attempted murder, we've seen it used here. Yeah, we do all miss Broke Corbin. Broke Corbin, he was relatable. Like, he was broke and we all hit rock bottom from time to time in life. When you the day before payday, you look at your account, it's laughing at you. You trying to get some lunch, everything costing like 40 bucks and you end up having to go to McDonald's and order off the dollar menu. Like we all been there. That's probably why Sad Corbin really connect with a lot of people because we was like, you know what, I feel you. When you got to ask someone for 20 bucks, you know, you really hit it when you have to ask for 20 bucks. You're like, hey, let me just, I get paid on Thursday. You see the way that my savings account, my checking account is hooked up, type of situation. But at the end of Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin, we had Madcap Moss who jumped up on the apron and Drew had his sword out, and then you could clearly see them setting it up because you see that Madcap goes like ready, and then Drew swings the sword. Um, Madcap Moss jumped down, and then he cut the first two ropes, and then there was a sound effect. I was like, I watched a lot of TV. I watched a lot of Game of Thrones. I have yet to hear a boom sound whenever a sword hit something. And I was very curious how they were able to do that. He was able, like, I don't know if that was an actual sword that he used that cut the ropes, because the ropes cut pretty easily because they used the ropes to run and everything. So that was pretty interesting. But then I was like, wait a minute, dude, you just made us all witnesses to attempted murder. Like, I don't answer I don't answer, phone calls that has just numbers on it as is. Now you're gonna have the FBI calling all of us. Did you watch? Where were you around 8 o'clock on Saturday, April 2nd? I was at home. Did you watch something? Maybe. Okay. I'm not a snitch, but Drew McIntyre done made us all witnesses to attempted murder. And people still cheering for him to this day. Next up was the Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. Like I said on my predictions, whenever there's a celebrity, the celebrity is gonna win. So I fully expected the Miz and Logan Paul to win. Interesting choice of gear for Logan Paul. If you didn't like Logan Paul before, you definitely don't like him after this match. First of all, the bastard with the most rare Pokemon card he was wearing as a necklace, and it was $6 million, they kept saying. And I was like, yo, he is so lucky he is in Dallas, Texas, versus somewhere like New York or Philly. If he was in Philly, he wouldn't have not made it out. Okay. The moment that he gave the necklace off to someone, yeah, he it wouldn't have made out. And if it did made out, because the way that Philly is right now, he would have got carjacked and then would they would have took the damn Pokemon card anyway. But yeah, I was like, that's a lot of balls to be wearing $6 million around your neck, especially from what we've been seeing of the crazy fans that jump over the barricade, try to get into the match type of situation. Um, and then with the Mysterios, very cool of Dominic dressing like his dad, dressing like his dad, Eddie Guerrero, when he was in Los Gringos Locals. Um, During the match was good. I expected Logan Paul to do well because I expected Logan Paul to do well. He really did well as far as the move set that he was doing. He he's really good at being a heel. He's really good at making people hate him. But he did the Three Amigos, of course. I was like, you bastard. Then he got on the top rope and started doing the Eddie shoulder shake. And it was a great finish though. The Pokemon card was a nice touch for Logan Paul. It was. It was. It really went right along with his character as far as just showing off, it was like Floyd Mayweather, like cuz Floyd Mayweather loves to show off how much money he has, how much cash he has. So Logan Paul, doing the Pokemon card just to piss off people a lot more is something. I love the finish. It was a great finish with the double 619s, and then they did the frog splash. But in the end, Logan Paul and The Miz won, and then The Miz turned on Logan Paul, which I don't know, don't really make any sense. And they didn't really address it on Raw after either. So it's like I don't know why. It wasn't even like it wasn't even like Logan Paul was getting, more attention than The Miz during the match. It wasn't like, he kept tagging himself in because they was doing really well as a tag team. So it really didn't kind of make any sense for him to turn, but I guess they had to do it just, to finish off the tag team of Logan Paul and The Miz. That's my guess with it. Then after that, we had Stephanie McMahon introduce Gable Stevenson, which I thought was kind of weird. Like, I get it. I get they're trying to make him like the next big thing. But he's still like far away because the last time they introduced him, I think it was him and the other girl from the Olympics. She was more excited than he was. I definitely remember that. Um, he didn't really seem like that excited, like, yeah, type of situation. But I feel as though I still feel like it's still so early to, like, put attention to him. It's gonna be like Veer of him, like, he's coming, because 'cause I'm like, he still has to finish college, and then on top of that, he is still training. So I don't know how close he is as far as his training to where as though he's ready to get into the ring. Because it's just gonna be like what happened at Raw after Mania with, Elias, Ezekiel, Eric, whatever his name was. Whereas though it's like, who's this guy again? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the Olympic guy. So I'm hoping that if I'm hoping he's good, first of all. I'm hoping he's good, that whatever they give to him kind of like portrays well on the main roster. Cause like I said, it's about character and storyline. We see what happened with Chad Gable. Chad Gable, as good as he is as a wrestler, they really didn't do much with him until he got the character, um, well, unfortunately, Shorty G, but who he is now with the sheesh type of situation. Um, so I'm hoping that maybe he will be able to, whatever character that they give to him, that will definitely work. Unless they're gonna switch it up and just have him, like even if they have him as like Kurt Angle was really good as far as being character and promo. So it's gonna be some big shoes to fill for, it's gonna be some big shoes to fill for, Gable Stevenson. After that was Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. It was a great video package. I love WWE's video packages, the choice of songs and everything like that that they do with it. I absolutely love it. Um, Becky with the Marvel intro. I know a lot of people was like, no, that's the then now forever, which it wasn't. Because if you actually looked at the actual start of the video that they did for that intro, it's exactly like Marvel, where it's like, it's like shot type of situation, and then you see the words and stuff like that. Very Marvel. She came out in the van. I don't even know what type of car it was. Um, she looked good with the new haircut and, the outfit. Like, it gave me, like, Lady Gaga, David Bowie type of vibes, with her eye makeup and the outfit. Then came Bianca Belair, which was my favorite WrestleMania entrance of the weekend, and I would say maybe top 5 of my entrances of all time. I'm a big sucker for marching bands, especially the HBCU ones where, they're jamming it out. Um, I wish that they would release that remix of that College of the Marching Band along with her theme. I think it was the college that she went to. I know it was a Texas college, and I know she went to a Texas college, I believe. But I think it was the same college that she went with, but it was a really good entrance. I always love and then she had the special gear too, which I heard was actually designed by a fan who designed it for her, like, maybe 2 years ago or something like that, but I thought that was pretty cool. Um, I would have to say match of the night for them. This was a really good match. First of all, the start where they gave us that SummerSlam tease where, there was a reversal, 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 and then Becky got the manhandle slam, and Bianca kicked out like 0.0000 away from 3, which was a very good touch to it. They went back and forth throughout the match and stuff. Then came the spot where I don't know what Becky was going for. I thought she was going for like not really a meteora, but I don't know. I thought she was going for like, a flip and then kind of like land into Bianca, but her foot, as we saw, like hit her square in the face. Um, they love to and they replayed that a couple of times too for her. You can see that her eye was like getting swollen during the match, especially towards the end of the match. Um, Bianca, of course, showing us what she could do, the 450 from the second rope. Um, and I loved the finish too, where Becky was trying to go for, I think it was the manhandle slam, and Bianca jumped on the second rope and did a backflip and then got Becky with the kiss of death. But I'm very happy for Bianca. She is now the Raw Women's Champion. Definitely deserve it. She is great as a babyface, and I felt that way even when she was in NXT. Like she has the star power. Because and I but I felt though she was better as a babyface than a heel. When she was heel, it's just something that wasn't connecting with her. But now that she's a baby face, maybe it's the fact that she's able more to relate to Bianca Belair as a baby face because of her story and things like that. But I can't wait to see what the next steps are. I mean, it felt they kind of stumbled going into Raw after Mania. They kind of stumbled because maybe there's, like, such high expectations for Raw after Mania. I assumed that they were gonna introduce who's gonna, come in next in line, but they really didn't do much for her. I'm very happy at the way that they build up Bianca Belair. I wish that they can book women in the WWE women's division the same way too. Whereas though, even though Bianca was had lost a few times to Becky during during the past couple of months, like she still looked good at the end, and even Becky looked good, with a loss as well. I'll give WWE Creative its due for telling a great story about 26 seconds and making Bianca a bigger star. Really, it is. And you know, a lot of us was mad at SummerSlam when Bianca got beat at 26 seconds, but I'm glad that they, definitely let us know like they didn't forget about it and that that was just a piece of the story for a long story. I'm fine, and you know what? I'm fine with losses like that as long as it gets addressed and that they can come back and be like, okay, remember when you got mad about this? Here's the payoff for it. Unlike what we saw with Kofi Kingston and things like that of people who get beat, you know, so quickly and it just doesn't get addressed at all. So I'm very happy that that got addressed and we had a payoff to it. The wait and see what happens type of thinking actually paid off for this storyline. But I hope that, they look at what has happened with Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch and apply it with a lot of the women on the division because I will say they have the most talented women's division in sports entertainment and pro wrestling, with all the wrestling companies. It's just the booking that makes their division come off as weak, because they concentrate so much on a few women, just like they do with the men's division, that everyone else feels like mid card. So that when they try to build someone up, like we saw with Liv Morgan, it doesn't like there's the hope there, but it doesn't make sense because like you've been booking someone so weak for so long that like you're suddenly trying to book them strong real quick and it doesn't it doesn't really make sense. But definitely it felt this was the I know a lot of people was talking about Austin's match, but this felt like match of the night for me as well. Now on to Seth Rollins and his mystery opponent. And I will say, I know that Cody signed, and I know that Cody was coming. I assumed that he may have been coming on Monday Night Raw. Once Vince got involved and said it's going to be a person of his choosing, I was like, all right, so it's going to be Shane McMahon or Undertaker. Seeing as though his speech, he said never say never. I didn't expect for Vince's choosing to be Cody Rhodes. And then I was very curious of how Cody is going to be. Are we getting AEW Cody? Are we getting Stardust like a lot of people was fearing? Are we getting dashing Cody Rhodes? Are we getting something else? And so I uploaded my reaction onto YouTube. I was in complete shock. First of all, I was in complete shock that we got the adrenaline in my soul. I didn't expect them to let him use his theme. And then he got the middle entrance on top of that. Like the only time they use that middle entrance is for the Undertaker. They use it for they'll use the jump up thing for Rey Mysterio, which we saw. I forgot to mention that was a really cool touch with with him and Dominic doing the was it slingshot? I forgot the actual name of the elevator that shoots you up. That was a really nice touch. But Cody Rhodes got the special middle entrance, and they did it again at Raw, even though you can like see him like looking like he's stuck in quicksand. And then he was wearing the same outfit, like, they literally took AEW Cody and put him in WWE, which is the craziest thing to me, because even when AJ Styles debuted it in WWE, they changed up his music. They always either change up music, name, gear, moveset, whatever. They took and they even with Cody, they even put his dog on his shirt, and I was like, this is fucking crazy that we literally got AEW Cody intact, like nothing has changed. Like he was doing the same move sets and everything from AEW. He cut very similar babyface promo like he would cut in AEW. So that was the craziest thing to me. Um, he did I cracked up when he did the cartwheel and then the star hand movement, whatever. Um, Seth Rollins telling Cody, "Welcome to the big leagues." But I was just in like complete shock that we got nothing. They didn't change anything. And he even mentioned, I think it was after the match interview, he mentioned that someone told Vince to just, don't change anything, let him come in as this. And I mentioned, like, I figured, Cody would be booked well for, WrestleMania. I know he's gonna be booked well up to SummerSlam, but I'm very curious at, whether it's 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 2 years from now. Once once it kinda, like, not really wear off, but once things are settled, I should say, with Cody, what is the booking then? Because we see what happened with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was the internet darling. He was, got the big pop at the Royal Rumble, got his WrestleMania moment, even though he wasn't in front of fans. He was the pandemic champion and everything. And then the next year after that, he loses his title. I think he lost that was that to Bobby Lashley, I think, at Mania 37. And then the following Mania, he's in a program with Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss with the sword. So I'm very curious as to what is the truth. If they had to tell Vince to keep him intact, that means Vince had an idea of what he wanted to do with Cody, and that's what I'm interested in knowing. Um, I'm also very glad that they didn't turn this into WWE AEW like we saw with Sting and Triple H, and have Seth win off of that. Um, I thought Cody was teasing. the pedigree. I mean, people who don't really watch AEW or watch the indies kind of thought it was the pedigree. I forgot it. I forgot what move it was that he actually did. But people thought he was going to do the pedigree. But I was just like I said, I was just very shocked about the fact that they kept him intact. I mean, they had NXT